Welcome back to Commercial Breaks with Miss Education. I'm Miss Education. Yay. Okay, so episode 51, right? To my DEI presenters, this is dedicated to you. And I know, like, you just put it out there, my mother's going to be like, Jen, what is DEI? DEI stands for diversity, equality. Oh, Lord. Diversity, equality, inclusion. Equity. No, oh my gosh, it's diversity, equity, inclusion. Oh, okay. And I should know this because at one point I was, going around as a DEI presenter. And so this came about because I actually had a 90-minute conversation on the phone with this woman, and it wasn't intentional, but we started talking about DEI, and she was really like, Jen, it's a great program or a great concept, whatever, and we need to push this thing, and this is what needs to happen, blah blah blah. And I disagree. And these are my views, right? I don't know it all. I'm just telling you from my perspective what I see and what's going on. I question DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think that in its purest form, yes, right? It's fair. And what it is love. DEI is just love. And that's what this world is missing. We need to go back to love and stop rebranding it into foolishness. So I do on the surface, right? Like, just overall, yes, we need love and it's a great idea. However, the way it's presented, I disagree with, right? And I'll give you an example. In my job the other day, we had to have an after school meeting, and it was a DEI presentation from the heads of the DEI department in the district. So they came and they presented. I had a man come up to me, one of the teachers. He was like, I believe it was also MCAS training. So he wasn't going to be at the DEI presentation. He had to go to the MCAS training. And he comes to me, he's like, Jen, I'm so glad that I do not have to go to this presentation, right? That I'm forced to go to the MCAS presentation. Again, this man has so much going on in his life, his personal life. He's like, I cannot sit in a DEI presentation and made to feel bad. And I was like, yo, what? At first I was like, what? And then I had to step back and think, how is this man perceiving DEI? And I got it. It dawned on me, right? As a white man sitting in these DEI presentations, it is constant backhand bashing of white teachers. Okay, and I'm speaking about DEI in the realm of education, right? There's DEI and all. I'm not in the business world. I'm in the education world. And DEI is low-key just a bashing of white teachers, right? So yeah, if I'm having a bad day, I'm going through a lot personally, I got to come to school and put on a fake smile and pretend everything's okay and deal with these children who are disrespectful. And then to come after school to have someone tell me how my whiteness is a problem and how I need to do better, I'm going to say no on that, right? So anyways, the presentation goes on. So a group of teachers have to go to their meeting, and the rest of us go to the auditorium for the presentation. And one presenter is white, the other one's Hispanic. And the white woman starts off first, and one of the first things she says is, she's like, I acknowledge my whiteness and all that it means. And I'm like, what? Seriously? Why are you acknowledging your whiteness right now? Like, what's that about? And I get it. That's part of the DEI script. I get it, but it just doesn't make sense. So in the room with all the other teachers, there are like literally, I don't even think there are 10 of us who are people of color. It's majority white, right? As most schools are. And they keep going. They do their presentation. People pretend to pay attention. It is what it is. I mean, you know what? Let me not lie. You do have a few of our more awakened, woke educators who eat this up, right? But the majority don't, actually. But anyway, so at the end of the training, one of the presenters comes up to me. She's like, Jen, can you please give me honest feedback about how this went? And mind you, before she spoke to me, people were coming up to me and telling me, oh, Jen, this was horrible. Like, why are we doing this? Like, people were expressing themselves to me, right? And so when this woman's talking to me, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not in the mood right now. I want to go home. It's like after 4 o'clock. I really don't want to sit here and debrief with you about this. So I started off with, like, yeah, it was great. People enjoyed it. People sat through it. Sorry, people were late because eventually the people in MCAS showed up, right? So that was how I presented this to her. And then I said, Jen, well, why? Why are you doing that? Let's tell her the truth. And here's why I had to tell her the truth. One, so that she doesn't continue going around not knowing. Two, maybe with hearing what the feedback is, maybe there's an opportunity for change and real love, aka DEI presentations, right? So I said to her, as I said to the woman, remember I told you I was on the phone for 90 minutes. I was like, one, we need to start listening to our audience, right? If I'm going to present and everyone speaks Portuguese, but I'm speaking, German, my message isn't going to get across. We first have to listen and understand who we're speaking to and speak their language. So your audience, in education, are a bunch of white teachers, mostly females, but a bunch of white teachers, right? So know your audience. Human nature, if you are constantly telling me that I am, this privileged race, that's in a negative way, right? In a negative way, and that, what's going on is my fault, and I'm racist, and my teaching style is racist. And if you keep telling me this over and over again, and understand that every time you tell me this, you're depleting me. You're taking something away from me every time you're doing this, right? By the time I return into the classroom, what do I have to give? You've literally emptied me out. And many of the children sitting in front of you are Black and brown. So now, as I am standing in front of you as this empty white teacher, I have nothing to give to my children in front of me. Nothing. Why would we empty out the individuals who we have requested or who have chosen to go into this field? Right? I question that all the time. And I'm like, you come at the people who have chosen, who've chosen to go into a field, a profession that doesn't pay. While there are many of us, meaning Black people, there are many Black people. We if we don't believe that white teachers should be teaching our children, then Black folks step up and go into education and teach your children. That's just a solution to a problem. But since Black folks aren't stepping up at the rate they're supposed to, so right now we have white teachers who've chosen to go into this profession. I think it is I think it's just real dumb of us to go in there and crush these individuals, crush these individuals, the same individuals who we entrust to educate our children, the same individuals that we want them to pour out love to our children. And in that love comes the education, right? But if we keep taking away from them, what will they give to our children? And that was the message I gave to this woman, the presenter. It was a great message. What she had to say made sense. But we're doing it all wrong. We're not feeding those individuals who've chosen to go into this field. Rather, we're stripping them of their dignity, right? Like I say to people, I am a good teacher who happens to be Black. I'm not a great teacher because I'm Black. My skin didn't make me a great teacher. If that was the case, then all Black teachers would be phenomenal, right? That's not it. I'm a great teacher by the grace of God. I'm a great teacher who happens to be Black. As there are plenty of great teachers who happen to be white. And the truth is, like in every profession, because we are humans, there are horrible teachers who happen to be white, as well as horrible teachers who happen to be Black, right? My skin color does not determine if I am a great teacher or a horrible teacher. And I challenge my DEI presenters to go in there and fill these teachers up. Fill them up. But while filling them up, you can tell them truth. We can speak truth while filling people up. And then really consider what the truth is. Is this the truth that the system has presented, the system has fed us? Like, is that the truth? Have we actually thought about what we're saying when we're presenting these DEI, when we're doing these DEI presentations? Do they make sense? I don't know. I just question. Like I said, I'm questioning a lot. And DEI is something that I'm having a hard time vibing with it. Don't get me wrong. I can make a whole lot of money out of it, right? Because of my skin color. Like I think I've told you in the past, I've had, an offer to be a DEI presenter. And they were like, yeah, because a lot of these institutions would prefer a person of color speaking to them versus a white person. I'm like, okay, whatever. So yeah, there's money to be made off of this foolishness. Who knows? And the thing is, I know this much, I'm not going to co-sign to the narrative if I become a DEI presenter. If anyone ever hires me again to present, I'm speaking truth. I'm speaking love. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to empower all teachers regardless of the color of their skin. I'm looking at the color of your heart. Like, let's attack that. Let's attack the color of your heart. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a heart of love, then yeah, you need to get out of education, because I know a lot of teachers who need to get out. But if you have a heart that's colored with love, then we can work together, right? We can edify these children regardless of the color of regardless of the color of the skin of the children, and regardless of the physical skin color of the teacher. If it's the color of the heart that matters. So again, my DEI presenters, rethink, reimagine, evaluate what you're doing and get to the heart of the matter, right? Get to the heart of the matter. This is about love, not diversity, equity, inclusion. It's LOVE, honey. LOVE, love. Till next time, commercial breaks with Miss Education. Bye.